3 years after I buried my only daughter, Maya, I finally returned to the lakeside cottage I'd bought for her 28th birthday. The moment I saw her vegetable garden thriving, perfect, freshly tended, my hands started shaking. Who was living here? Then I remembered the hidden security system. I went to check the footage, and what I saw left me frozen in shock. I'm grateful you're here, listening to my story. Before we step inside that cottage together, tell me, where in the world are you right now, and what time is it there? Your presence means everything. The drive from Charlotte to Asheville takes 4 hours on a good day. That late September afternoon, with autumn colors painting the Blue Ridge Mountains, I felt nothing but the weight of 3 years pressing down on my chest. I'd avoided this place since Maya's funeral. The cottage had been my gift to her, $720,000, overlooking the mountains she'd loved since childhood. Now it was just another monthly expense, draining me. My financial advisor had been firm last week. "Richard, you need to sell it." So here I was, making a trip I'd put off for 36 months. I needed to see it, one last time, box up her things, say goodbye. I turned onto the narrow dirt road winding through the pines. It was nearly 2 o'clock in the afternoon when I reached the gate. I had to stop the car. The wooden gate was gleaming, fresh paint, new hardware. I'd expected decay and rust after 3 years of abandonment. Then I saw the vegetables. Maya's vegetables. The expensive heirloom variety that needed constant care, specific soil amendments, careful watering, precise pruning. They were flourishing, full, lush, perfect. The soil around them was dark and moist. Someone had watered them that morning. My pulse quickened. Those plants should have died within weeks. The padlock turned smoothly. The gate swung open without a sound. I walked up the stone path, my hands starting to shake. The front door unlocked easily. I stepped inside and stopped. Cedar. Fresh cedar air freshener, the same kind Maya used to buy from that shop in town. The living room looked like a design magazine. Spotless leather furniture, polished oak floors, afternoon sunlight streaming through the windows, illuminating fresh wildflowers on the dining table. My chest tightened. In the kitchen, I opened the refrigerator, my hands trembling now. It was full. Fresh milk dated 2 days ago, vegetables, fruit, eggs, leftover chicken in a glass container. I gripped the counter to steady myself. Someone was living here, in my daughter's house. Who would do this? How did they get in? I was about to call the police. My hand went to my jacket pocket. My wallet, my phone, they were all in the car. Then I remembered something Maya never knew about. When I'd had this place built, I'd installed a hidden security room behind a panel in the upstairs study. Cameras in every corner, recording everything to a hard drive. Maya had thought I was paranoid, so I'd kept it secret. But the system was still there, still watching. I looked up at the ceiling where I knew a camera was embedded in a smoke detector. If someone was living here, the cameras would have caught everything. My hands were shaking as I climbed the stairs to Maya's old study. I'd barely been inside the house 8 minutes, yet everything already felt altered. The study was exactly as she'd left it. Her desk by the window, her favorite fountain pen in its holder, her shelves filled with history books. Only I knew what hid behind those shelves. I went to the second shelf, slid my hand along the bottom edge, and pressed the concealed button. A quiet click sounded. The bookshelf shifted forward. I pulled it open just enough to slip inside. The hidden room was small, 7 by 7 feet. 3 dark monitors lined a narrow desk. When I powered the system, the hum of equipment vibrated through the cramped space. I entered Maya's birthday as the password. The dashboard opened, revealing live feeds of the living room, kitchen, and master bedroom. Empty. At least for now, I was alone, seeking answers. I opened the recordings from the previous evening, time-stamped 7:15. At first, the rooms were empty. I fast-forwarded. Suddenly, on the living room feed, the front door opened and the lights flicked on. A man walked in with the ease of someone who owned the place. He wore a loose cotton shirt and comfortable jeans, the kind Maya always bought for comfort. When he turned toward the camera hidden behind the wall clock, his face came into full view. Derek, my son-in-law, my dead daughter's husband. My chest tightened. He had spent 3 years crying poverty, asking me for loans, claiming his restaurant was collapsing. Yet here he was, living comfortably in Maya's cottage. But the shock wasn't over. Derek flopped onto the sofa, turned on the television, and called upstairs. "Dave, want something to drink?" A woman descended the stairs wearing a silk robe, her hair loose, her walk confident. When she stepped under the chandelier, the camera caught her face clearly. Vanessa, Maya's best friend, the woman who had held my hand at the funeral, the woman who claimed she was too devastated to visit this cottage even once. Yet here she was, living with Derek as though the house belonged to them. I turned up the volume, my hands trembling. Vanessa brought him a tray of cheese and 2 glasses of wine. She sat too close. Derek wrapped an arm around her. She leaned against him. "It's perfect here," Derek said, sounding satisfied. "Taking care of this place was worth it." Vanessa fed him a cracker and smirked. "Better than selling it cheap to that foolish old man. Richard will never suspect anything. He thinks you're the devoted husband and I'm the faithful friend." Foolish old man. The words hit like a punch. Derek stood and paced. "How long do we keep hiding? When can we put the house in our names? I'm tired of pretending to be broke." Vanessa laughed coldly. "Relax. Everything takes time. We already got rid of Maya 3 years ago without a trace. Property transfers are nothing." My breath vanished. I replayed the line to be sure. We already got rid of Maya 3 years ago without a trace. My body shook uncontrollably. Maya's death had always been labeled a natural heart attack. No autopsy, no questions. 3 years of grief now shattered by this confession. "Don't say that out loud," Derek warned. "If anyone hears, we're done." "Who's going to hear us?" Vanessa mocked. "This property is isolated. Richard won't come back and the neighbors don't care." Before I could gather myself, a sudden engine roar sounded from the driveway. I checked the exterior feed. Derek's black pickup was pulling in. They were coming back. Within seconds, everything shifted from discovery to survival. I checked the exterior camera. Derek's black pickup stopped beside my sedan. He stepped out, saw my car, and froze. "Whose car is this?" he snapped, circling it. "It's Richard's. What the hell is he doing here?" Vanessa exited, her face draining of color. "He said he was in Atlanta. Why would he come here?" "I don't know, but he can't see us," Derek muttered, pulling something from his pocket. "Find him now." My heart pounded. They had killed Maya. If they found me, I'd be next. Derek was younger, stronger, desperate. I shut off the monitor so no light leaked out. Darkness swallowed the hidden room. Downstairs, the front door slammed open. "Richard!" Derek's voice echoed through the house. Heavy footsteps moved across the floor. "He's not down here," Vanessa called. "Check upstairs." Cold dread surged through me. The tiny room had no exit except the bookshelf. They were coming. My eyes went to the ventilation grate, my only chance. I climbed onto the desk, removed the grate, and pulled myself into the narrow duct. Mel scraped my arms as I crawled through dust and darkness. Behind me, Derek burst into the study. "Check behind that bookshelf. I always thought it looked strange." I crawled faster, ignoring the stabbing pain in my elbows. The duct twisted sharply. Then I saw a faint light ahead, an exterior vent opening onto the back roof. I kicked it out and squeezed through onto slick shingles as rain began falling. Below was a 10-foot drop. Shouts erupted inside. They had found the open vent. No time. I lowered myself over the edge and let go. I hit the ground hard, pain exploding in my ankle. Gritting my teeth, I limped toward the vegetable garden, the only path to the back wall. Thorns from the raspberry bushes tore my clothes and skin, blood streaking my hands. The stone wall rose before me, 5 feet high. I jumped, grabbed the top, and hauled myself over, my ankle screaming. I dropped onto the gravel shoulder of the mountain road. For a moment I lay gasping in the rain. Then Derek shouted from inside. "He went over the wall. Get the truck." I forced myself up and ran down the mountain highway. No plan, no phone, just fear driving me forward. My wallet held $180 and a debit card, but my phone, keys, and laptop were still in the cottage. All the evidence, too. Rain hammered harder, the cold slicing through my clothes. Each step sent shocks of pain through my injured ankle. Headlights appeared behind me, Derek's truck. I dove into the trees, hiding behind a pine as he sped past, hunting. When his taillights vanished, I returned to the road and kept moving. Time blurred. My lungs burned. My legs trembled. Blood and rain dripped from my hands onto the asphalt. By the time distant lights appeared through the fog, it was nearly 5. I had been walking for hours, soaked, injured, terrified. And worst of all, I had left every piece of evidence behind. I limped down the mountain highway for what felt like forever. Rain soaked through my jacket, and blood from the thorns had dried on my hands. It was nearly 7 o'clock when the lights of a small diner appeared through the fog. Inside, only a truck driver sat at the counter with an elderly man behind it. He took one look at me and grabbed a towel. "You all right, friend?" "My car broke down up the mountain," I rasped. "Could I use your phone?" He guided me to the old landline by the kitchen. "Take your time." With shaking hands, I dialed Walter, the only number I remembered by heart. We went back 35 years, business partners, divorce survivors, wedding witnesses. If anyone would help, it was him. He answered on the first ring. "Richard? Walter, I need help. Can you wire me $2,000 tonight?" He didn't ask why. "Western Union or bank transfer?" "Western Union. I'm in Asheville." "Give me 25 minutes. That was Walter. No questions, no hesitation. I thanked the diner owner, ordered coffee I couldn't drink, and waited. My burner phone, bought with my last $40 at a gas station, buzzed exactly 25 minutes later. Walter had sent the money and added 2 words. "Stay safe." I picked up the cash, checked into the Mountain View Motel, and collapsed. But sleep didn't come. My mind replayed the recording, Vanessa's laugh, Derek's smirk. We already got rid of Maya. Morning came with one clear goal: find proof. I headed to Blue Ridge Pharmacy, Maya's regular place. Tyler, the young pharmacy tech who'd always been kind to her, looked startled when I walked in with bandaged hands. "Mr. Lawson, I heard about the cottage. Are you okay?" "I need your help," I said quietly. "I need to see Maya's prescription history, the last month before she died." His face drained of color. "Sir, I can't just—" "Tyler, something was wrong about her death. Please." After a tense pause, he checked the empty store, then pulled up her file. We stared at the screen. "This doesn't make sense," he murmured. "Her heart medication, the one we filled for 18 months, was canceled, replaced with this." He pointed to an entry, an unregulated herbal heart supplement, $350 a month, not covered by insurance, and risky for someone with her condition. Who authorized the change? I asked. He clicked deeper. His jaw dropped. It says you did. There's an authorization letter with your signature. I never signed anything. He printed the document. The signature looked like mine, but wrong, shaky, sloppy. And the date chilled me. That week I'd been hospitalized with pneumonia. I couldn't have signed anything. Tyler, I said, do you remember who picked up this prescription? He closed his eyes, thinking. A woman, long blonde hair. She said she was a close family friend, paid cash every time. His brow furrowed. She had a silver bracelet with a large letter V. Vanessa, my daughter's best friend, had poisoned her. I folded the documents and slipped them into my jacket. Tyler, please keep this between us. Mr. Lawson, shouldn't you go to the police? Not yet, I said. Because going to the police would be too easy for them. Lawyers, negotiations, maybe a plea deal. Maybe Derek's family money would soften everything. Maybe they'd get 8 years, or 4, or less. No, they needed to feel what Maya felt. The betrayal, the fear, the slow dawning that the people you trusted most wanted you gone. I had proof now, but what I needed was justice, and I intended to get it. I sat in the motel room for hours, staring at the forged signature and my daughter's name on the bottle of poison. The afternoon light crawled across the thin carpet, and I watched it move like time slipping past. By sunset, I knew exactly what I had to do. Going to the police would only hand them lawyers, a trial, excuses, deals. They could sit in comfortable chairs, deny everything, and maybe walk away with light sentences. That wasn't justice. I needed them to break from within, to turn on each other, to feel the same fear and paranoia Maya must have felt before she died. Around 3, I picked up the burner phone and dialed Derek's number. My hands were steady. I had practiced this moment repeatedly. He answered on the second ring. Hello? I let my voice tremble, weak and confused. Derek, it's Richard. I went to the cottage yesterday. A long pause. Richard, where are you? We saw your car. What happened? I saw her. I forced a shaky breath. I saw Maya, her ghost, standing on the porch, staring at me. I panicked. A truck driver took me down the mountain. I can't go back. Silence. I could hear him calculating. Richard, that's grief, he said, voice softening. Your mind playing tricks. There are no ghosts. I know what I saw, I whispered. She looked angry, like I failed her. You didn't fail anyone. He sounded more confident now, convinced I was unraveling. Where are you? I'm staying with Walter in Charlotte. I can't drive back. Could you bring my car? I'll pay you for the gas. Of course, you don't need to pay. We're family. Relief leaked into his voice. I'll bring it by Walter's place tomorrow. Thank you, son. The word tasted bitter. I don't know what I'd do without you. After hanging up, I sat in silence. I could picture him telling Vanessa the good news. The old man is losing his mind, seeing ghosts, no threat at all. Let them believe that. That night, once I was sure they felt safe again, I sent the first message. I'd bought a second burner phone, paid cash, no ID. I typed the text slowly. That herbal remedy tasted bitter, didn't it? I saw you two at the pharmacy that day. I hit send, waited for delivery, then removed the battery. I imagined Derek reading it, maybe driving with Vanessa beside him, his face draining of color, hands tightening on the wheel. Vanessa's panic rising as she asked, Who sent this? Who knows about the pharmacy? And Derek snapping back, "You said Tyler wouldn't talk. You said you paid him." "I did. It can't be him." "Then who? Richard? He's a grieving old fool who sees ghosts." But doubt would wedge itself between them. Fear would twist their thoughts. Every phone call, every sound in the night, they'd question everything and each other. Fear doesn't just scare you. It corrodes trust. I imagined them arguing, voices sharp, old certainty crumbling, the alliance that killed my daughter cracking, just slightly at first. But I would keep pressing, keep pushing, until the fracture widened and shattered completely. I lay back on the motel bed and closed my eyes. Let them tear themselves apart. Fear is a virus, and I had just infected them both. For the next 2 days, I didn't stop. I sent more messages, each crafted to feed their paranoia. "Maya trusted both of you. Look what you did." The cameras saw everything. I kept them vague, threatening enough to terrify, but never specific enough to trace. I wanted them looking over their shoulders, doubting everything. Because Derek and Vanessa didn't understand what I had learned. Greed and fear make terrible partners. On the evening of day 3, I sat in my motel room staring at the burner phone. I had been thinking about this for hours. I didn't have a tracking app. I didn't know where they were or what they were planning. But I didn't need to. I had psychology. If I could convince Derek that Vanessa was betraying him, he'd destroy her himself. And if I was lucky, she might already be doing something suspicious, something that would make my lie feel like truth. So I typed one more message, this time only to Derek. "Your partner is selling your house behind your back. Old storage facility near exit 319, Black Mountain. 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Don't let her run off with your money." I hit send, turned off the phone, and removed the battery. It was a complete fabrication. I had no idea if Vanessa was selling anything, but their collapsing alliance and Derek's paranoia would take care of the rest. If you're finding this story gripping, please hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Your support means everything.